Mr. Arun. Thank you, first of all, on behalf of Kemp FC for sponsoring us this IWL2 season. Hi, Mr. Arun. Thank you, first of all, on behalf of Kemp FC for sponsoring us this IWL2 season. So I wanted to ask you a few questions about why and how we are going to enter into this partnership and what we are going to do with this in the future. So my first question would be, the VST Group has a century-long history of community support. Out of all the initiatives you could back, why was Kemp FC the right fit for this legacy at this specific moment?
I think sports in any way is, I think, a good foundation for people to grow. So I think when this opportunity came to us, it was a great opportunity because you're able to promote, girls at a young age, aiming to get into a sport which I think makes a big difference in life disciplines. So that's how we said, let's partner and see where this goes.
So far, overall, if you see the Indian community of women's football, not many brands have come in to support the girls of this stature. So, what does this company VST Group hope to achieve through this partnership of supporting women's football?
I think as an organization and as a fourth generation entrepreneur, my whole family in some way or the other has been involved in sports. Literally all of us have played sports at a school level, state level, and a couple of my cousins at an international level as well. And we know what sport brings to character building. It can be team sports like football, it can be individual sports like tennis or squash or swimming, etc. So I think when we looked at this from a group perspective and a branding perspective, running an organization is one thing. You want to do well, make money, satisfy customers, but a lot of it is also about giving back. And I think if you can give back to youngsters, especially from the underprivileged, smaller towns, not from a metro like Bengaluru, and I think Kemp football has a lot of players from other states, I think it's a great opportunity.
So you mentioned about not metro cities like Bangalore. So Kemp is associated with the hyper-local community of Bangalore, outskirts of Bangalore. So how do you think this will equate with your vision of the company, vision of the group?
Yeah, I think some of us, and I speak for myself, are privileged to be living in an environment like Bangalore where opportunities are galore, right? A lot of people, professional at work and within the Kemp football team, don't get the opportunity, right? And when they do, and if they don't get the right support, financial or motivation at the right time, then the opportunity is lost. So I think when this came up to us and we were talking to the Kemp football team, we were like, hey, how can we not? These are young girls who want to succeed in life, follow a passion. I'm a passionate football player myself. I think the doors have to open for people.
So you said you have played football yourself and you come from a family of sports persons. So if you have to take one lesson from the football pitch and you believe that every corporate should implement it in their corporate life, what would that be?
Yeah. Anyone who plays football will know this answer. I think that's called teamwork, right? It's the easiest, lowest hanging fruit that any sport will teach you. You can't play a team sport and be an individual and expect to win a tournament. It takes 11 players to make it happen. For someone who's played football from junior school all the way to university level, if you don't get the right team and you have a great captain or have a great goalkeeper, but your midfield is horrible, you're not going to win. So I think one of life's lessons from here is teamwork. That's one. Two, I think sometimes is overshadowed. I think is a good leader. A lot of people aspire to be a captain and to be a leader, but I think along with that comes responsibility, right? Often you're down 2-0 and you've got 10 minutes to go. You can either be unmotivated and say the game is done, or you can see what can be done even to the last minute. So I think there are a lot of life lessons to be learned from football to the boardroom where I work.
We are talking about women's sports here on a global scale. Women's sports has been rapidly growing across all different kind of sports, football including, and all other sports as well. So we consider you as an early mover into the sport. Not a lot of brands come in to start with women's football in India particularly, but in other countries that is becoming a trend now. How do you place yourself there, and as well as where do you see this partnership going on to the future? Let's say in a couple of years, where do you see this partnership go?
Honestly, today when we looked at partnering with Kemp Football Club, I was looking at what can I do now for youngsters who need an opportunity to explore a sport. And I'm a big believer that sport is a big life teacher. You can learn in the classroom, you can learn outside the classroom. And I think on a football field, there's a lot of learnings to come. As I said, I've played for many years. So for me, what will I get out of this? What will the group get out of this? If we can open doors for people to learn life's lessons, and that enhances their well-being, personality, career aspirations, I'm happy. So in a few years' time, if I've changed the lives of a few hundred kids, fantastic. What else can I ask for?
What's your favorite memory of watching or playing football, or does anything from that memory influence you for this project?
For anyone who's played a sport or watched football on TV, I think there's 1,000 games we can think about where an equalizer was scored in the last 5 minutes. It's sort of the never die attitude that people have, right? The easier ones are the big football clubs that you'll talk about: the Manchester United, the Chelseas, the Liverpools, the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids. You'll see a feeling in them that no matter what happens, no matter how many goals down they are, they will fight to the last minute. Memories that I have are memories that I have watched games in person, in the stadium, and I've watched a bunch, and or played myself. I've played so many tournaments that as much as you feel like you're tired and it's hopeless, you need one bright spark from one of your teammates, and that'll lift the entire society, the entire team. So I think being a chairman of this group, it's a challenge sometimes to be able to motivate everybody around you all the time when things don't go well. But I think that's also the responsibility of sport and a leader to do that. So there's a lot of life lessons from both these aspects.
Kemp FC has primarily focused on women's football. The sole focus is on women's football and development of women sports. Within your company, do you have any initiatives that empower women, or you have any exclusive initiatives that do empower women in certain ways?
Yeah, Kemp Football Club is our first venture in sponsoring this young girls team, but we also run a school. It's called Sri Kamalabai Education Institute. It's here on Queens Road in Bangalore. It's a CBSE school. One of the things that I'm involved in is, besides the education side of it, CBSE and academic results, as much as I can, I also try and encourage sports at the school. It's a school for boys and girls, nursery all the way to high school. I'm a staunch believer that as much as you want to work on grades, at Sri Kamalabai School, you've got to also focus on the sporting activities and the extracurricular activities. So we try and do a holistic approach to nurturing children. We do scholarships for certain children from certain limited backgrounds. And I think if we can get people uplifted, and that's, I think, part of our job, or part of our responsibility, I think society overall will benefit.
So as a leader, what is your personal message to those girls who are in Kemp currently and who are looking forward to this kind of partnership?
Look, if we could just all play football for the rest of our lives, we would, right? But I think there's also got to be a practical side to life, right? If you can do well playing a game and earn a living playing the game, then yeah, pursue it. But at some point, I think we also realize that life is more than sport. Life is also about living. You've got responsibilities that come by. So for the kids who want to play, if you're in your teenage years, you're in your 20s, this is a time to live. You've got to play as much as you can, enjoy the game as much as you can. And when it's time to hang up your boots, it's time to hang up your boots and then follow a career aspiration, wherever that is. But I think until then, I think we've got to give it all. I mean, I genuinely believe sport is a huge, I said this earlier, a huge life teacher. You'll talk about teamwork, you'll talk about adversaries, you'll talk about unfairness, you'll talk about luck, you'll talk about bad luck. But I think there's a lot of learning. So enjoy it as much as you can, and then when it's done, I mean, learn to enjoy life outside the football field also.